in this video I'm going to be showing you a few base locations that I think are some pretty good spots to build if you keep getting raided by bigger tribes and you can't seem to get away or hide yourself from other tribes stealing your stuff when you're just trying to build up a little bit. So we'll start heading to the first spot now. Alright guys, so here we are at the first spot. If you don't already know, this is Herb Island, or if you're kind of a noob to Ark, the coordinates are 83, 83, dead even. This is a good spot if you're trying to start out, or these guys are just building up like crazy. But this spot has a lot of metal nodes around the edge, and if you don't know why it's called Herb Island, is because there's no carnivores that even spawn on here. But it's a pretty safe place, and you're next to a bunch of metal nodes. Not really a lot of things for cementing paste or chitting, so you'd probably have to go to the mainland and go. But you are completely surrounded by water. The only carnivores that really spawn are either sea creatures or like birds. They're always pteranodons, but they're not like aggressive carnivores besides the sea creatures. We're gonna head to the second spot now. Alright guys, so here we are at the second base location. This one is at 4565, and if you open up your map, it's kind of right in the middle of like the volcano, and well, okay, so it's right next to Green Ob. And this is a good spot to build because you have a few metal spawns right here. There's even a explorer note right there. So if you mine all these metal nodes out, yes, you won't be able to. They won't be able to respawn. But you could build a decent sized base up here. But you probably have to use pillars because there's not a lot of flat ground. But you can build a pretty decent base up here. And you're not too far from metal. Like if you get a decent fast bird with some good weight, you can fly over to the volcano or any of these hills or anything, and you can get a bunch of metal. Or you can build on this smaller pillar, which is more flat, but it's not as big, so you won't be able to build as big of a base. But you could build a base right here, and then just constantly have that metal spawn right there. And then if you wanted to, you could build like a dino pen down here. Alright guys, so this third base location I'm going to be showing you is at 1520. It's up at the top left corner of the map in the snow biome. It's a pretty well hid area. You can just land over here on it's like a little iceberg. It has oil, crystal, and silica pearl spawns right on it. So as you can see, there's some oil spawn. If I can land, there's some oil spawns. I think I cleared out all the crystal. This was my old base, but I think I cleared out all the crystal. But there, oh wait, there's some right there, and another explorer note. The silica pearl spawns are right around this edge. As you can see them shining a little bit. And if you go down underwater, there's some like deep under there. And you're also next to this ice cave, which I haven't really explored much of it because there's a lot of canals and stuff, caverns, and you'll get lost pretty easily. I just went back before I got lost, so I didn't lose all the stuff I had on me. But if there's not a lot of metal spawns right on it, actually there's really none. There's a lot of oil spawns up here, but it's not really a problem still, because if you just go up to Blue Ob, there's obsidian, crystal, and metal spawns, so you're pretty good up there. You can get like 7 to 8 pure gold metal nodes you can get. And then there's also, because you can't get a lot of chitin or keratin, there are a lot of penguins. Obviously it's a snow, so there's a lot of penguins you can get for that organic polymer. And yeah, there should be penguins. They're harder. Oh, there's one over there. But they're pretty much everywhere up here. I think they're more like in the woods a little bit. But yeah, there's another explorer note too. But yeah, this is a pretty good spot to build. The only maybe downfall, or it could even be a good part to it, sometimes drops will spawn right inside that base location. They'll either spawn there, up there on that cliff where that yellow drop is right now, or back here in the woods a little bit. But it could be a blessing or a curse if that drop does spawn in your base, because if you get to it first before anyone else does, you can get rid of that drop so no one can find your base. But like I said, if you're like offline or something, and there's like a red drop that spawns in your base and it attracts people to your base, they're like, oh look, we're gonna raid these guys because they're built where a drop spawns, which I accidentally found that out. I didn't get raided, but I found out drop spawn in there. But yeah, it could be a blessing or a curse, and if you like this spot or think it's pretty good, you can build here. Just put up some behemoth gates like I did, except right there I didn't get enough room for, I don't know how I didn't fit it in, but I just put a dinosaur gate right there to block off that little gap. But I'd advise to put some behemoth gates up here, like around that little cliff, because as you can see, dire wolves will spawn up here and they'll just drop into your base and start attacking your stuff. So I'd kill these off, maybe place a couple foundations in between here so they can't spawn, and then place some behemoth gates so they can't run into it. But other than that, you can defend it pretty well, but I'd only build there just to start off, just to get going a little bit, stock up on metal, and then I'd move out to one of these other locations or any other location you'd like. I'm going to start heading to the 4th spot, and I'll see you guys there. Alright, so this isn't the 4th spot, but this is a good idea. Let's say you just constantly get raided by people, like anywhere you build isn't a good spot. If you find anywhere where there's a dense amount of trees, like over here, you could build like a small little 4x4 stone base, and like down here you're covered by canopy and rocks, so you're pretty well camouflaged. And to get resources, I would go all the way out to like here and start cutting down trees, but where you are still in the north technically, so there are a lot of dinos that will try to kill you. Alright guys, so the 4th spot I'm going to show you is at what people call the Oasis. Right now it's an admin base here, so that's why there's a tamed alpha wyvern and just spawned and stuff. But this is at, if you don't know the coordinates are 2269. But this is a pretty good spot. It's well it's not really well hidden. If you fly over, it's kind of open, but you can defend it. There's only like 3 ways to get in here from land besides jumping off the cliff, but you can just do what they did and put in some metal spikes around it, or even behemoth gates or whatever. And then once you do that, you can just block off the only ways in by land, and so you basically force people by bird, and you can just set up a bunch of pillboxes around here and just shoot down all the birds they get. See, like over here, this guy, he placed down a lot of behemoth gates, so you're gonna have to blow through like, what is that, four of them. So you can make this spot pretty well defended. Pretty much only right now land dinos can get in if they're like a giga or something that can jump over the wall. But if you hit the ground too hard, it'll go into rage mode and kill you and your dinos and everything else, because gigas are overpoweredly rage. They're like a little 12-year-old on Call of Duty getting mad when he gets his kill streak lost. Alright guys, so the 5th and final spot is going to be in the Redwood at 6134. This is where we built our base actually, so it's pretty well defendable, and it's in the Redwood, so you have a lot of trees you can cut down, but also a lot that you can't. But you also can set up these little tree houses or tree platforms and set up like a bunch of pillboxes and just set them up with a bunch of turrets. You can pretty well defend this base, and you're also built right next to the cementing paste cave, and you're not that far away from the volcano, which again can get you a lot of metal, obsidian and crystal. Or you can just go to the middle of the redwood forest, where there's like a mountainish looking hill, and it's got some metal and crystal. I don't think it has any obsidian on it, but you can get some resources. But the biggest one, and the one of the most easiest and hard to get usually, the cementing paste, and you can just stock up on that, because I mean everything in the redwood almost says keratin or chitin. See you in the next video.